a waste of time either way, cause I can see it on your face. I've been tossing, turning, staying up all night long. I've been calling, yearning, wondering what I did wrong. I could tell by your eyes you got some problem, cause I keep trying to figure it out. Oh no, oh no. Tell me baby what's the problem? I'm only picking up what you're putting down. You'll be tripping, I don't know what about. So what's the problem?
And after a beautiful day at the beach, we went to pick up the parts in Sarasota with Audi. We have everything except one pipe. And before we went to the garage in the morning, we stopped in the Copart again. And the guys were checking some motorbikes, but my attention was attracted by these two cars. There's a Bentley Continental convertible, which was flat damage, as you can probably tell. We have like mushrooms growing in the interior, and this beautiful Ferrari Fiorano with the V12, again unfortunately flood damage with the certificate for the destruction. So these cars are obviously not worth it to repair because the parts will be probably mental. You can't get them registered in the US, you can probably export them in Europe, but I don't think they'll be worth it like when they fully running cars. So meanwhile I was there, I was just like opening the bonnet and having a look at the beautiful V12. And you can probably tell straight away where was the water level because it's salty and everything. So yeah, unfortunately beautiful cars, but they are not worth the repair because it's just very expensive to get all the parts for them. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel at Tampa Bay with Filip. We are here again in these terrible conditions where all my nuts are sweating. Whew, really bad. We have a good news. The engine is still here. Also, good news is Filip was making some phone calls and we managed to get what we need for the engine was missing in the previous video. So that means we will get these pipes, we will get the coolant pipe from the back, which was like almost broken, and we'll have the engine mount. So in this video we'll be stripping the engine down still, especially we have to take everything what we need from it, we have to clean it all up, we have to separate the gearbox from the engine. We have to take the engine from there, which are cockroaches living in the pallet, and bring it somewhere closer. And we have to swap everything what we need. So that means we'll probably start with the exhaust manifold, then the loom, like air compressor, alternator. So yeah, there will be plenty of things. So I'll gotta put the camera again somewhere over there, and let's get to it. Situation update. This is the stripping part of the workshop. That is the cleaning part of the workshop. Filip, why are you cleaning your new coil packs? Why?
Because this was used before like a high performance coil packs, because you see the oil.
Okay. So it was like oil cooled.
Yeah. Oil cooled coil packs.
Good. So unfortunately
You got actually like a 20 horsepower more if you will put a lot of oils on it.
So this channel basically turned into a device channel, how to get out of NA more power. Put more oil in them, they will be better. The problem what Filip actually have here is that the spark plug is basically just the tip is sticking out. It's completely flooded, but it's not flooded with... Oh, hello! This belongs to one of the coil packs, sorry man. And he's got the rocker cover reseal, but unfortunately it's leaking in between the top of the cylinder head and the bottom of the cylinder head. So on the engine what I've built, there's basically new gaskets. So that should be fine, and you can probably see it's leaking here as well. So meanwhile I stripped down the piping, the mounting for the engine mount, what was left of it, and the loom, sort of. So basically, yeah, it's going slowly. I will probably continue with the exhaust now, so we can get to the gearbox, and we still have loads of things to do, so should be fine. But yeah, so far I'm stripping here, Filip is cleaning there, and there's nobody here putting it back together, so probably gonna swap the roles again, but we can continue. So I managed to strip down basically one side of the engine, and right now I'm actually thinking, we have like inquiry sometimes like, how much will it cost me to swap an engine if I will supply a bare engine? Well, I was doing a quick calculation. If you're doing it like on your own, I think there will be 1 day to actually remove the engine, second day to actually strip it down, take the gearbox apart, take everything aside, clean everything up. Third day, if you're lucky, you might put it back together, like it's ready to go into the car. Fourth day, you might actually put it into the car and start it. And fifth day, we have like tracking, air conditioning, driving the car, finish it off, get it ready for collection. So I would say you will need at least 5 days, which is 8 hours of labor per day, so that's 40 hours. So easily labor-wise, you can get like 4 grand for such a job. And we are talking about engine which is like built, so does not include intake, injectors, what needs doing. Filip also bought all the piping and loads of other stuff what we actually need to replace. So yeah, it's a tricky situation with these V10s, and everything what you're actually doing is really hard to get to. For example, power steering. You've got this 18mm bolt going through there, holding the power steering pump. Before that we have like 2 covers and a loom, then you have these 2 bolts, then you can't take the power steering pipe off because you have like a water pump here with all the piping going to the gearbox. You have an air conditioning compressor here which you can't remove because there's a bracket for the water pump, for the piping, and like power steering pipe going around it. Then the exhaust, let me show you from the other side. This side went off in one piece because I managed to sort of slide it off and get to the last 10mm nut, but from this side the last nut is over there, and I'm not able to actually slide this part out because I would have to strip it down from there and from there, which we don't actually want to do because we don't have the new gaskets and we can't get them that easy. So my plan is I'm gonna remove the engine mount bracket with the engine mount, and hopefully from underneath I will be able with a spanner slightly loosen the 10mm nut and take it off somehow, but that is one if and one maybe. Loom, not even talking about the oxygen sensors, how they done and everything, the whole bracket from underneath, and yeah, it's going pretty much slowly. It will be probably even worse to put it back together, but we still have things to do: alternator, piping, all the pulleys. And I can't even do the injectors now with the rails because if I'm gonna remove that bolt, probably will all collapse. So that'll be the last thing. And separate the gearbox, of course, that will be an episode on its own because the bolts for the torque converter are from the starter motor side. So yeah, Filip is cleaning one by one, and I'm really hoping by end of a week, hopefully maybe, it will be done. We'll see how it goes. So if you're saying a timing chain is a problem on the back of the engine, imagine this: to actually remove the starter motor, which is hidden underneath the manifold around this bracket for the engine mount, and you have to remove these 3 bolts, actually 6 of them, to take it off from the flywheel plate and from the torque converter. So we're going to remove all 6 of them, and then we should be able to separate the gearbox from the engine. And I helped Filip to push the gearbox out for a cleaning, and finally I can move on to the engine that was sent from the UK, and I will start with the injectors, with the rails, fuel system and everything that needs to be done in the middle. And once Filip was done with the gearbox, he moved to the engine bay, so everything gotta be cleaned up. We start getting a bit hungry, so we'll go for a dinner. And the guys next door bought from Copa this beautiful Mercedes GT, and we'll be back soon. And we are back at the workshop, 7 p.m. We've been on a dinner, so again, getting obese a bit, but what can you do? Filip cleaned up the gearbox. I'm getting ready to take the dry shaft out. We have to replace the seal, which is leaking. We're gonna have a really good job by cleaning it. Also, he cleaned up the engine bay as much as he could so far. He said, like, I will finish it off. So that side's done. That one is not. You can probably see the difference. And the plan is by midnight, we want to definitely go home and at least want to have the gearbox, put it back together on the other engine. I will be taking the rocker covers off this one because of the bolts. They're not rusty. And put them onto the other rocker covers, because these rocker covers are probably in a bit of a better shape. And yeah, I managed to put the rails, injectors, knock sensors, and we can start putting the engine back together with the gearbox. Putting the new rocker cover gaskets onto the rocker covers, and I don't want to say I'm shocked, but I am a bit shocked because the gaskets what I bring have a part numbers because they're genuine. Filip is telling me that he brought them new rocker cover gaskets as well.
I still have a receipt at home from Audi dealer. I'm telling you this.
And I don't want to say it, but this is what I took out. So this is a rocker cover gasket after how many months?
I don't know if it's even 1 year. It is 1 year maximum. I don't know if it was like a 10 months. I had a receipt.
Weather condition, you think?
Dude, I showed you the receipts
Okay.
from them. It was the valve cover.
We can check the receipts, but anyways, even if you brought new ones genuine, they should have a part number, and the ones what we stripped down, there's no part number. And unfortunately, I wouldn't even be like, okay, there's no part number, but this is obviously old rubber.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah. So
But
this
it's not even original.
this is how the new rubber is flexing. And sometimes we have customers as well bringing us the cars where we're doing something like taking the rocker covers off after a year or even more. We don't have a problem with it. This is the other side. Don't break it, yo. It's in good condition. New gasket.
I wanna break it so I can bring it at home like a puzzle for my kids.
You can see the rubber is almost flexing. Yeah, compared to a fresh rubber, which is obviously moving. But yeah, unfortunately, Sarasota, Florida, Garage Avenue. Shame on you.
That's actually Porchano. It's right here, bro.
Yeah.
You know, Sarasota is Audi dealer, but the Avenue Garage is like 5 streets away from Porchano.
So you're going tomorrow, say hello, bring him this? With the receipt, like, yo, what happened, guys? Because this is actually quite bad service.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't pay too much that it should be changed, like.
Like, what do you expect if you will come to the garage like this and you will spend like a 4K there? So $4,000 is not enough to use the parts what you bring them.
Yeah, maybe they keep them in stock for a future classics, you know. So a bit of a sad condition, unfortunately, but yeah, we have the new gaskets. I'll fit them. Filip is cleaning the engine bay still. I replaced the gasket what you see in there, and we'll start putting the engine back together with the gearbox.
Baby, I'm calling for you, and I'm stuck in a loop.
And we have a next day with the typical UK weather because I couldn't get used to the sun, so they ordered some rain here and there. And we finished 1 in the morning, which was actually a couple of hours ago. And we have still loads of things to do. Yesterday we have a bit of a situation back and forth because I can't keep up with my mind remembering all the stuff. And unfortunately the shield which is here is covering the bolt for the power steering which wasn't installed. Also the exhaust is covering the bolt for the shield over there. So we have the exhaust off like several times. Luckily, hopefully it was the last time we took it off. From the other side, because why not, we have these 2 bolts on the end of the pallet, and somehow we thought that one of the bolts is not from the engine or the gearbox, and it was for the starter motor over there. And again, we have to take the exhaust off again to install the starter motor from the other side, and we have to continue with the wiring loom. So Filip yesterday finished the engine bay. Everything is nice and clean because this is a car from America, not from the UK, so it's not rotten and rusty, and how people call it, surface rust. And yeah, I'm really hoping by today it will be in. We're finishing 4 o'clock today, hopefully, and probably over the weekend it will be all finished. So let's continue. Rich. Okay, so I'm lying underneath the car. Filip is sitting next to the car. Mr. Joseph is the only one working outside, but I'm
just waiting for instructions from my boss now.
Okay. Standby mode. So currently I put these 4 bolts into the bracket for the gearbox. We have to wait till the subframe is washed and clean. We will put that in the front, and I think we can lift the whole car up then, finally. And yeah, we just have to connect everything back together. So first startup coming up soon. And we are back in the garage the next day. Yesterday we have Mr. Paul and Mr. Tyson fight. Bit of a disappointed to see the old men moving around, but yeah, it is what it is. Back to reality. We were shopping in the morning, so Filip bought Mobile One Oil 5W40, which was European spec. We are ready actually to put the front end on. So Filip yesterday spent a bit of a time cleaning the slam panel, and I think the result is obvious. It looks very clean, so that can come back on. And yeah, the engine is in. We did find out to do the gearbox service is a bit of a pain. If I knew it's a bit of a pain with the exhaust, which I didn't need because I'm an idiot, we will probably do it while the gearbox was hanging here on the crane, but it's too late now. So before we actually gonna do the gearbox service, the plan is we wanna put the slam panel on, we wanna connect all the vacuum hoses, everything what needs to be done to actually start the engine. And if the engine will start, and if the engine will sound sort of normal, we will continue with whatever is left, and hopefully by end of the day it will be on the road.
In a crowded room.
and we have an update. The front end is on, everything is just so far plugged in so we can crank the engine. We still have to put hydraulic and coolant. Oil is there. We put probably like 13 liters of oil. We use Mobile One 5W40 American spec, but it says it's for Audi and Porsche, and we have the specification 502, so it should be fine. And yeah, everything is there for now, just to actually test it. So all the vacuum is plugged in. I don't think we are missing something. Filip is just putting the battery back on. We'll be using the tester, what we have here, to put it onto the signal for the starter motor over there. So the engine will be actually cranking without starting. And we are hoping that there will be no issues. So stay tuned. We can't start the engine because we have a big problem. I forgot to put the mine ground for some reason. So we have the evidence back here. So step number 2 will be put the mine screw there again, and we will try to start it. Okay guys, so we had I wouldn't say a problem, but we have a situation. So we start up the engine, it is running, sort of, nothing is leaking, which is good. However, right now we have unplugged both air mass meters, and the engine is running sort of alright without them. Let me start it up. So right now the air mass meters are not giving the ECU any values, but listen to this. You hear it like it's like sucking false air somewhere. So I have a smoke machine ready to go on. Let me plug on the air mass meters just to show you what will be the differences, because with air mass meters the engine is running like really rough. So soon as it will start giving the signal to the ECU, like how much air is actually coming in, and somewhere in midway it's sucking some air what shouldn't be there. The whole engine just can't handle it with fuel ratio. See how it's shaking? So it's running much worse with the air mass meters. So we gotta do a smoke test. Keep you updated. Unbelievable stuff going on. Filip actually didn't have the problem sort of before. We did have a lean condition, which means somehow there was getting air, but it didn't show up as much. However, the smoke test has revealed a bit of a problem. You can see it was sucking air in between the bolts, how it was tight. Also on the throttle body, you can see, especially on the top side. So the plan is, I do have a spare one in the UK. We have to contact Miroslav to send that over, because when I bought the engine, that was with it, even with the throttle bodies and everything. But I didn't send it because I didn't know. Anyways, the plan is right now, we will all clean it up, and for a purpose to run the engine a bit here and there, we will clean up everything. We will put a slightly touch up of a silicone, so it's not sucking any air in, and we're going for a sub. So we will see the result afterwards.
A few moments later.
Siliconic!
Okay guys, so the engine is running. It's still making that noise, but it's not shaking at all. Everything is plugged back in, so we have both of the air mass meters on, and the engine is running sweet, it's idling very nice, so we can shut it down. We will continue with the rest of it and put it back together on the wheels. Okay guys, so we have a update on the gearbox service. I'm not sure how Audi actually done the design of the exhaust around here, but to do the gearbox service and change the strainer inside is basically a very nice adventure again. So we will drain it from here, then we have to take this bracket off for the coolant pipe, then we have to unscrew it all the way around, and we have to pray the pan will have enough space to actually slide off somehow. So yeah, gearbox service coming up. Čo to na pekné slovo. Oj. Nie je to motorový isto. This looks like engine oil a bit. Or is it just me? Oh, this is the lifetime one. So, it wasn't that bad to do a service on the gearbox. We just gotta drop the exhaust again, you know. If you're wondering why we didn't do it while the gearbox was out, I have no really argument for it, but we will move on. So, the gearbox looks like this with the magnets. It's not that bad, seen worse. Oil was very bad. Next up, we will clean up everything, and we have to put a new strainer, new gaskets, clean up the magnets, and put some fresh oil in there, along with the exhaust, back on and everything. And yeah, in the UK, this car will go in the bin, because these studs will 100% break, because, you know, standards. And yeah, luckily this one is from a USA, it was in a dry condition, and everything is doable. So lucky days, but still more work than expected, so let's carry on. And you can probably tell there's a stamp 3rd of January 2008, so the filter was there from the beginning, but unfortunately we can't continue because the new filter is not long enough, so we have to order the correct one. So we'll end up the video here, unfortunately, and I'll keep you updated. Enjoy the sunset at Florida. I'm really hoping you enjoyed the video, guys. As soon as we have the part, we'll continue, I will film it again, and I'm really hoping we will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching again, and take care for now. See ya.